This is your daily news report and your third stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Saturday, February 20th. The official text of the stimulus bill has now been released. The 591-page stimulus bill will be reviewed by the House Budget Panel on Monday. The House of Representatives, they plan on voting on the stimulus bill at the end of next week. The Republican politicians are angry at President Biden. They're calling him a hypocrite with his liberal wish list agenda. The Democrat leaders are telling their party members to stay unified to make sure that the Republicans do not modify the stimulus bill. President Biden gave his first speech to the European Union, and he said that Trump's isolationist approach to foreign relations is now over. Biden said, "America is back." The Biden administration is also undoing Donald Trump's Remain in Mexico rule. Pfizer's vaccine will no longer need to be stored at ultra-low temperatures. This will make the storage and the delivery of the vaccine much easier. The newest crisis in Texas, Mississippi, and other states is a lack of clean drinking water. We'll go over why this is happening. This is your Saturday news, and I hope you're having a very nice day. Yesterday, the final version of Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package was released. The full text of the stimulus bill includes $1,400 stimulus checks, which includes adult dependents, the extension of federal unemployment benefits at $400 a week until August 29th, billions of dollars for rental and mortgage assistance, as well as help with utility payments, child tax credits, where parents will receive monthly payments, and the federal minimum wage increase to $15 an hour by 2025. That's not everything, but those are the highlights. The House is expected to vote on and pass the stimulus bill next week. They're saying at the end of next week. The Republican politicians are angry. They're saying that the plan is too expensive and loaded with liberal agendas that are unrelated to the pandemic. On Friday, Republican House Minority Whip Steve Scalise sent a letter to his fellow Republicans urging them to vote no. Scalise called the stimulus bill Nancy Pelosi's payoff to Progressives Act. Scalise wrote in his letter, "It's clear Democrats have no interest in approaching COVID relief in a timely and targeted fashion and are instead using the reconciliation process to jam through their liberal wish list agenda." In response, Pelosi's office accused the Republicans of not wanting to help Americans at a time when millions are unemployed and schools are struggling to reopen. Pelosi's statements ended with, "Americans need help. House Republicans do not care." Once the stimulus bill passes in the House, it will advance to the Senate for review and potential modifications. Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, wrote a letter to his fellow Democrats in the Senate, and it said, "If Republicans are ready to work with the Democrats on constructive amendments that will improve the bill, we are ready to work. However, we must not allow the Republicans to deter us from our mission of delivering help to Americans who desperately need this relief." Schumer told his fellow Democrats to stick together and to vote against any Republican amendments that try to get things thrown out of the bill. Once the bill is passed in the Senate, then it will be forwarded to President Biden for his signature. The Republicans are calling President Biden a hypocrite who preaches unity, but then pushes a bill through without any Republican support. But Biden responded. Biden responded by saying that the Republican politicians should listen to their Republican voters who are mostly supporting his $1.9 trillion stimulus plan. Biden said on Friday, "What would they have me cut? Should we not invest $20 billion to vaccinate the nation? Should we not invest $290 billion to extend unemployment benefits for millions of Americans?" So as you can see, tensions are rising going into next week. If you are enjoying this news summary, please be sure to subscribe. I try to break down the news for you as straightforward as possible. I thank you for your support, and I'll keep you updated. In political news, President Biden will be visiting Texas next week. Biden will be speaking with officials about the devastation caused by the winter storms. The administration is continuing to send supplies, generators, blankets, bottled water, and prepackaged meals. Biden spoke with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and let him know that FEMA is ready with additional supplies as well. The Biden administration took their first steps in undoing Trump's immigration policies, like the Remain in Mexico rule. Under this policy, people seeking asylum in the United States from Mexico had to stay in Mexico while they waited for the results of their hearing, which could take months or even years. On Friday, the first wave of asylum seekers were allowed into the U.S. at a border crossing in San Diego. The Republican politicians are upset about the reversal of the Remain in Mexico policy. They're saying that it will lead to a mass border crossing attempt. The Biden administration acknowledged this possibility and warned immigrants that now is not the time to cross the border. Instead, they encouraged asylum seekers to register on a website that is launching next week. President Biden is also reaching out to allies in Europe. Biden announced, "America is back." He said to European leaders, "The United States is fully committed to our NATO alliance. An attack on one is an attack on all. This is our unshakable vow." British Prime Minister Boris Johnson praised President Biden and said, "America is back as the leader of the free world, and this is a fantastic thing." Regarding the COVID-19 news, Pfizer CEO said improvements to their manufacturing system will allow them to more than double their capacity in the next couple of weeks. Additionally, Pfizer announced that ultra-cold storage will no longer be needed to store their vaccines. According to Pfizer, the vaccines can now be stored at -5 degrees Fahrenheit instead of -94 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to make it much easier for smaller hospitals, pharmacies, and vaccination sites because now they can keep their vaccines in standard pharmacy-grade freezers. On Friday, Pfizer assured President Biden that they were on track to deliver 120 million doses by the end of March and 200 million doses by the end of May. However, there has been a setback in the current shipments due to the severe winter storms. As of now, 6 million doses of Pfizer's vaccines are sitting in warehouses. Pfizer says that it's better to hold the shipments for now instead of sending them to places where the power may be out. According to White House officials, the vaccines will be delivered next week as power is restored and as the roadways are safe again for driving. In current events, Texas, Mississippi, and other states that were devastated by the severe winter storms are now facing a new crisis, a lack of clean drinking water. The problem is stemming from broken water pipes and low water pressure, which is causing bacteria to seep into the water supply. Cities are providing residents with bottled water for drinking and flushing toilets, but many people can't even go to pick it up because the roads are too icy. That's the news for today. If you enjoyed today's report, please be sure to subscribe. I thank you for your support and wish you a very nice weekend.